Y'all ready to mark out about X-Men with me?
It's hard to believe what's not waiting for me.
We got dead wife footage of Gambit. I love how the shoe is turned and we're getting dead husband footage. Hell, they weren't even married. But God, it's so depressing. I'll give them that. They did a great job of making me sad as hell.
Someone special.
I mean, it's kind of also your fault a little bit, which is why it hurts so bad.
The X-Men are scattered through time.
Okay, the premise is out there. X-Men time adventure, 30-minute time adventure. I would love to see where all of the versions of the X-Men that we've been following in this show has ended up, because I'm sure even though this is like these three, I'm sure the rest of the X-Men in this particular Age of Apocalypse timeline aren't the same versions of the X-Men they know. I'm very hyped to see them interact with them and talk to them and see what their future holds and how they can fix it and stuff like that. I've been waiting for something like this forever.
In the past, from the start of Apocalypse's reign.
Can we talk about Yumi Sabanur and how beautiful he is? I think they did a good job with their casting in the movie for X-Men Apocalypse, but oh fuck, did they fuck up Apocalypse. He looked terrible as Apocalypse. This is what I want Apocalypse looking like in my movies. If he doesn't look like this, then don't. I actually cried bitter tears in X-Men Apocalypse because it was so bad. Usually an X-Men movie will get me to cry in general because I'm so overwhelmed with joy. Not that one. That was the first time I cried angry tears. And these are I'm talking about X-Men movies, right? Like, I love X-Men to a sad degree. I love movies that people consider bad X-Men movies. I love them. X-Men 3 I thought was fine. It wasn't like world ending like everybody thought. Like, it wasn't good, but it was fine. Days of Future Past is one of my favorite X-Men movies. Straight up. I was like, man, this reminds me a lot of the show. Good job. I cannot say that about most Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. Like when they go, hey, check out this, check out, I think it was the second Thor movie, or the first Thor, I think it was the second Thor movie where you see they do a little Planet Hulk situation, but it's not Planet Hulk. That just bummed me out. It just made me go, oh, we're not going to get Planet Hulk. You're just trying to get us with nostalgia by having Hulk wear that helmet. Okay. At least we got to see Hulk's butt in that movie. I'm okay with adaptations of stories as long as you keep the spirit true to the thing. Future Cyclops, future Jean Grey, and who we thought was future Dum Dum Dugan, but I think is actually this guy. I think he's actually future Strong Guy, now that I think about it.
The X-Men.
Get you some friends that will, as soon as somebody opens the door and you guys are all in there, you strike an intimidating pose. In fact, me and my friends are gonna have to practice like soon how to do one of these situations where like, oh shit, the door's gonna open, pose. Like, let's say you get an Uber delivered to the house and you and your friends all hanging out. You have to practice in advance, also leaving like the special instructions. Push open the door, it's open. Uber guy pushes the door open, you snap into a fucking intimidating pose. Can we talk about everybody's poses are like defensive, they make sense. Charles's posture also looks defensive because his power is his brain, but something about this pose makes me think he's just voguing.
I must strike them at their most vulnerable.
The thing about this trailer is I gotta keep pausing it every 5 seconds. Not even 5. They don't give you that. They are moving so quickly through this trailer that you gotta have your eyes taped open or have that little thing on your head like in A Clockwork Orange, you know? But we're going to the 90s, you guys. We're going there. Also, Polaris. She's here. Oh my god, Polaris, hi! I love Polaris. She's one of the children of Magneto that they let him keep. And I'm sure they're going to let him keep Wanda and Pietro now that the X-Men are allowed back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The whole bullshit of them going, you know, we can't use mutants anymore because of the goddamn rights issues. So what do we do? And then, you know, another movie producer looked at the other one and went, why don't we make the Inhumans mutants? We just replaced them all with Inhumans. And then if I was in the room when that happened, I would have flipped the table. No, the humans are boring and they're weird and confusing. This is way better. Also, like, a lot of Inhumans are created against their will in a weird way. Like, yeah, the X-Men are born that way, but they're born that way. It's an allegory. You need that. Just to be like, oh man, you got gassed once and now you have powers is not a relatable or fun story. And making Wanda not a mutant is awesome and makes sense if in the next movie where you introduce the X-Men, you say, oh yeah, she did the whole no more mutants thing, and there weren't any. So they have a really good out with Wanda being such a big character and a big villain for their universe. I think you can nail it with the no more mutants thing. And then once she did that, like, Professor X went into hiding. Because when we do see Professor X and Magneto in the new trailers that dropped for the movie, which I think I should probably bring up and we should talk about them because oh my god. Because of that, Derek looks disheveled. So I have a feeling that they maybe were in hiding because after Wanda did her thing. But yeah, give Magneto his children back. I love that Polaris is still his kid, though. I love her so much. She's great. She's fun. She has a great character. She has struggles that are interesting to watch as a comic book reader. And she deals with those things in an interesting way. Like, she doesn't come into about the second run of X-Men. So, like, when they're like, we're going to the 90s, what they're actually saying is that we're going to the 70s because Marvel has what's called a sliding time scale. And what that means is, because time keeps going, they try to keep the stories current by just having all of a sudden one day Peter Parker has a smartphone and they didn't say anything about it. They didn't say there was no big event, the smartphones were created, none of that. It just was. The only event that happened in real life that also happened in the comics was 9/11, and that's because how couldn't it be? Most of your stories are based in New York. So the sliding time scale makes it so that I'm very excited to see how they're gonna change the 70s fashion into 90s fashion and how they're gonna get away with certain outfits. Like, she's walking into this mansion, right? We don't know, first off, if this mansion is old or new. I think this mansion is current day because it looks like they're rebuilding it after it was destroyed because, well, they can't live in Genosha no more. So she's here in this mansion that's being rebuilt because when she first joined the X-Men, and this again, I didn't read Giant Size X-Men yet. I've only read the first run just because I was like trying to, after reading comics since, you know, the early, or not early, after reading like the X-Men proper from like the mid to late 90s, I wanted to go back and see how it all started. And I only got up to Giant Size X-Men. I didn't continue yet. Soon. I'm gonna read it definitely to prepare for this. Just like I'm gonna read X-Men 2099. Polaris was only in like the first issue of Giant Size X-Men. She like quit the next day and made a new X team. So this might be her coming back after that whole kerfuffle. Like, maybe she just saw on the news what happened in Genosha. And I say that especially because sliding time scale. I see these Christmas lights hung up for like aesthetics, and I'm thinking that only really became a big thing now. So but who knows? Maybe it's actually Christmas. But the way she's dressed, I'm not quite sure. Especially in upstate New York, you ain't dressing like that in the spring in upstate New York, let alone the winter. But we do see some old pictures, and oh man, look at this. I love Jean Grey's old outfit because one of my favorite things about Jean Grey's first outfit is it isn't skin tone, and we can actually tell that she's not naked. God bless. Also, I like the mask. Polaris looking badass as usual. We got, and this is how you know that this is not the 60s and this is the 70s. Iceman made of ice. Iceman, there he is, made of ice also. Oh, Polaris, you don't know yet. I'm so sorry. But he's made of ice. In the original shit from the 60s, he was made of snow.
Could have at least bought me a drink first.
Oh, Morph. I'm ready for more Morph. I'm ready for more Morph X Wolverine. Speaking of Wolverine, Jean Grey uses some psychic claws to to do some cool shit with Cyclops, and I think that's because, you know, she has some moments with Logan. She keeps having moments with Logan. I think she thinks Logan is neat, but I don't think she's into him. Also, these uniforms that they're wearing, oh boy, that means we're gonna go to the astonishing X-Men universe. If you guys remember that one time that Emma Frost shows up and like pretends to be Jean Grey to sleep with Scott Summers in his mime palace, yeah, that's from that. Also, so these ugly ass uniforms. I hate these uniforms. These are the worst ones that they had. They tried to make them super serious, and they were like, "What do you think we'd be wearing? Yellow spandex?" And then the comics were like, shit, now we look stupid. Quick, put them in leather immediately. And so you got these awful outfits. Let me just show y'all. These outfits are atrocious. And not only are they bad, they were really like a pain in the ass to draw based on like the weird like ripple texture everything had. Also, I think also the artist, this is like my least favorite artist that does X-Men, and I'm so sorry, quietly. Like, you're not a bad artist. I just think that your art would be better served in not the X-Men. Look at this man. Look at how much of a dweeb he made Cyclops look like in this outfit. It's another reason why I hate this outfit. I think just the artist made it look dorky as hell. Awful. And you know who got the worst end of it is your boy Beast. Even when they went back to spandex, I think Beast is the one who got the short end of the stick. In the new X-Men uniforms, Beast actually had the best outfit. So when they actually went back to spandex, because of a similar line in the comics from the movies of like, what do you expect? Yellow spandex? In the comics, after this run, we get Astonishing X-Men by Joss Whedon, who I know, if I say that name, people are going to shit themselves, but listen. He gave us good uniforms. He said, no, X-Men do not wear leather. And he wrote Cyclops to look at Wolverine and say, superheroes don't wear black leather. The people are afraid of us. And it's right. You need the bright yellow to seem warm, welcoming, friendly. The black leather just makes you look like a biker gang. As cool as I think that would be. The biker gang part, not these uniforms, to be clear. These are awful. I went to show you Beast real quick. You see him with his big jacket, his ascot, you know, he looks classy. Yes, he's a lion. We'll get into that in a minute. But when they said, all right, Joss Whedon was like, no, those are awful. Put them back in spandex. We got Beast in the worst outfit. Poor Beast has to wear this. What is this? Why are his boobs out? Why couldn't he just get pants? Why'd you have to give him this girdle at all? Look at all those abs under there. Why did you do my boy like this? Everybody else gets a dope outfit though, except for him. And you know what? I'm gonna give him props. It's not Joss Whedon that developed it wasn't Joss Whedon that decided on the costumes, but he is the one that wrote into it that the leather ones suck and we need new ones. So I'm giving him credit on this. Here's everybody's new costume reveals. And if you can check it out, he did something incredible for Wolverine. He took off his blue underwear. And my big thing is like, I didn't mind the trunks outside of your trunks because I'm a wrestling fan and I see that all the time. But a lot of people were like, haha, he's wearing his panties on the outside. That's dumb. So of course, comic books had to address a couple of idiots who are like not getting the fact that these are based on circus performers. And I get it. A guy with his underwear on the outside is kind of silly. But this is the only costume that did it right. Where they said, okay, Wolverine has no more underwear on, but we can't just have him wearing all yellow pants, right? They broke it up with the big belt. They broke it up with the side being blue a little bit and the blue boots. You know who didn't do that? Superman, and he looked terrible without the trunks on the outside. So much so they had to put them back. It's too much blue. They didn't break it up enough. Batman though looks incredible with just black pants, and I 100% credit this Wolverine design with how good the Batman looks without no trunks on the outside. But yeah, whoever designed this revolutionized superheroes who have trunks outside, and they figured out how to make just pants look really good. But I love that Cyclops is like, yeah, I'm not wearing underwear on the outside anymore, but I'm still wearing skin tight pants. And Wolverine's like, well, I'm gonna at least try to make them pants, bro. Like, come on. And Cyclops is like, no, spandex all the way up. And you know what? Honestly, I feel like we're ready for that again. Just in time for my birthday. Let's go. Yes. The music. Oh.
We gotta get the X-Men back.
Damn, Bishop looks good in this art.
To the 90s.
All right, so what that was Cable as a little kid or young man. I think we're gonna see more Legacy Virus stuff. So get your pants ready for Legacy Virus, and also get ready for Warlock, who's a character that I believe is made up exclusively of Legacy Virus. And that makes me think when we do see somebody later that they're gonna get corrupted by it. We'll talk about it. Yes. Hey, Marvel Rivals, put this skin in the game now. Oh no, I don't know. Things looking bad. Things are looking bad. For Colossus, man, his sister is dead, and she's my main in Marvel Rivals. What am I supposed to do now? I'm really bummed about this, actually. I love Ileana. She's probably, I love her more than Colossus, honestly. I feel like this is gonna make Colossus go, okay, that's it. Back to Europe to go farm cattle. I can see him doing that. I can see him retiring to being a cartoonist or going back to live on a farm, which he has done before. And also, when he went to go live on the farm in the comics, he grew a really cool beard. And of course, the beard is metal too. Sick look. Sick look. But yeah, Ileana's my girl, man. This is a fucking bummer. I do believe she's in that one new X-Men movie that didn't go to theaters because it wasn't good. I haven't seen it yet. I'm really excited to see more movies in more comic book movies take on other genres, because that one was a horror. I would love more horror movies. Honestly, if you want to see another horror movie in the MCU, check out Multiverse of Madness. That becomes a horror halfway through, and it's awesome. This is more like the timeline of Madness, isn't it? Also, that guy looks to me like Azazel. I think it's Azazel, Azrael. It can't be as simple as Azrael. I feel like it's Azazel or something. But that's the artist formerly known as Nightcrawler's dad. Because the real Nightcrawler's dad is, no, not the friends we made along the way. Mystique. Mystique is Nightcrawler's dad. And Nightcrawler's mom is the chick she's always hanging out with. Man, what's her name? Destiny? It might be Destiny. That's Nightcrawler's mom. But how does Nightcrawler have this man's ability to bamf? I don't know. And if you're wondering, like, oh wait, he can bamf? Yes, he is in the X-Men First Class movie as one of the Stooges, even though he's a whole ass demon. Yeah, I don't know how that works anymore, but yeah, can't wait to see what this is about. Especially since they're like, hey, you're kind of unnecessary. We know who Nightcrawler's real dad is. This is Danger. High Voltage. Not that one. Well, yes, kinda. She's the Danger Room made manifest. And if I remember right, I think Beast falls in love with her because when he's a lion, he's dating a chick who's like, nah, you're a lion. This is bestiality. And she breaks up with him, which is messed up. I'm sure some furry would love to have Hank McCoy. But he's like, screw it. I can't find love. I'm not even going to try looking for it. Robot. Robot. That's what a lot of people here are doing in the current day. So I guess Beast wasn't that far off from, you know, living in the future. Beast is living in, we're living in 2008, and he's living in 3000 and late. I can't remember how that lyric goes, but it's literally the best thing that the Black Eyed Peas have ever written because it's so funny. Yo. whoever's composing these shots, whoever's doing the shot composition, please give them a raise. Thank you and good night. This is incredible.
This isn't just about us. It's
Ooh.
about everyone we've lost.
So she says that as they're looking upon the memorial, and this feels like a knife to the heart, because there she is, Ileana, confirming that she is in fact dead. That fucking sucks, dude. And me and my friends were laughing that like Gambit is dead, and he was a more prominent member of the X-Men, and that's it. That's all he gets. His picture's super small, but I think because this is right in front of us, this is Colossus, I believe he made this shrine, and he cares a little bit more about Ileana. Either that, or he came here and was like, your wonderful picture of Gambit, very good. Anyway, move out of the way. I brought giant painting of my beautiful sister. Which he probably did because he's a fantastic artist. You know who else is an artist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Captain America. I recognize this person immediately. That's my girl Marrow. Rest in peace, Marrow. You will be missed by just me.
It's about everyone we've lost.
Okay, so we were talking about how this is probably the 12, and that underneath these people is a tree of more people. It looks like a pyramid scheme. And that, yes, I am making a joke because Ensemble Noor is Egyptian, okay? Yes, I am making that joke. I'm sorry. I also love the really cute, small, minimalistic representations of these guys. Look at Beast. Look how cute he is. But then, yeah, there's Rogue, Nightcrawler, Magneto. Like, if you couldn't tell that's Magneto, or this was Professor X, it's time to go get your eyes checked. It's time to go with me to the optometrist. Come on, get in the car. And then there he is, the man himself. So this skulls for the Skull Throne. Skulls for the Skull Throne. But the symbolism here is not just that he's a holy figure. He has a halo. He has some rays above him. But the skulls at the Skull Throne, there's growth, new growth, because his whole thing is survival of the fittest. Like, yeah, people will die, but the strong will grow out of that, and everything will be better. I don't know.
Beginning of time.
We are going to the Savage Land. They do say straight up it's the beginning of time, so maybe not the Savage Land, maybe straight up the beginning of time. But I think it's the Savage Land. Also, this disgusting monstrosity in the front here that we see is being indecent and showing us its rear end for free is a member of the Brood, which is pretty much, think, Xenomorph mixed with Tyranid from Warhammer. So Deadpool's probably a good choice if you want to actually cut up some Brood. The Brood also makes me think something else is coming, because we see another character later, but we'll talk about it. We'll get to it. Psylocke! Psylocke! Also, Magneto with beard. He's been through some stuff. He's a Scar as well.
Right here.
Archangel. Not just Angel. Archangel. All metal and stuff. All ready to be all up in Apocalypse's business.
Right now. I believe in the X-Men.
So here we go with these costumes. Look at how awful this jacket is. It's so baggy and ugly and gross. Wolverine in the brown, because he probably looked at that Cyclops, and not only is he from a different time than this Cyclops, but he probably looked at that Cyclops and went, no effing way. Or rather, he just, no effing way, bub. He did the thing. I love that Wolverine doesn't need to like throw his arms out there like that. He just does it for intimidation. Again, find you some friends that can break into a pose. Yay, Sunspot! You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I just saw Psylocke whip out her swords. Hey, now we have like confirmation that Morph only turned into Deadpool because Wolverine and Deadpool is a thing. I'm sure if Cable saw them turn into Deadpool, the Kill Bill sirens would just start blaring. But yeah, knowing that Psylocke, yeah, she does have two swords. Why didn't you turn into Psylocke?
We're back, baby.
I accidentally sped up his voice because I wanted to pause it. Alright, so there's Wolverine. And if you know X-Men, you know this pose. One of my favorite things in all of comic books is when they make a comic book cover reference inside of a comic book. One of my favorite ones is Superman like throwing the big VW Beetle. They pulled that off in the Fantastic Four movie. They put in the trailer like Ben Grimm doing that, and I just about lost my goddamn mind. This made me start screaming when I saw it. I was so excited. Here's my boy. He's an Omega level mutant who knows it and isn't afraid to let you know as well. He's like, what if MJF was a force for good and a mutant? That's this guy. I love him and I cannot wait to hear his banter. His banter alone with like Morph is gonna be insane. Just because Morph is like a silly character, I can see them playing off each other really well. But oh my god, Quentin! I was gonna talk about those X-Men trailers, those little bite-sized trailers that were shadow dropped in Marvel Rivals, but I'm gonna talk about that another time because I'm already been talking your ear off about this trailer that's, how long is this trailer? 1 minute and 58 seconds of me losing my mind. Thanks so much for watching me lose my mind about the X-Men, and I will be back to do this again about those shadow dropped mini trailers for the new Avengers movie. Magneto was right. Tally ho.